Stories from our communities in Nigeria and Republic of South Africa make up our Events Roundup this week. While a secondary school in Offa, in Nigeria's Kwara state, is the venue of our Gives Back this week. And Guider Emil San Juan talks about how criticism can build or destroy our community in his Just an Opinion segment. Details of our stories in just a moment. To all our viewers around the world, this is MNC, your Mavro News channel. This week, we bring you stories from two countries that happened between July 23 and September 14. We start off with an opportunity presentation organized by Guider Emil Bukola last July 23, 2016, for the people of Lokoja in Kogi State, Nigeria. He first led an opening prayer before formally welcoming his audience of 7 people to his presentation. He gave a short overview of first and its history. Next, he talked about what's the ideology, where he emphasized that understanding it is a must for every person who wishes to join the community. He also pointed out to his audience that they should not think of as a bank, business, or company just because they hear about the 30% growth. He stressed that this rate is not earnings from interest or profit, but a reward for their willingness to participate in the system. He added that its operation is decentralized and everything works in a peer-to-peer system. He moved on to speak about the bonuses waiting for members and reminders on how they could effectively participate. The attendees expressed satisfaction for Guider's Akiwandi's efforts. 1 week later, on July 30, another offline presentation happened, this time under the leadership of Guider Samson Aliu. He held it at the Guinness Multi-Purpose Hall in Ifako, Agege, Lagos State, Nigeria, wherein he had more than a dozen attendees eager to hear about
Point of what?
After talking about how began and its ideology, Guider Samson moved on to one of his favorite topics, Mavro and how it grows. He told them that this Mavro is a mere help index to show them the total amount they have donated and what is available for them to request help for. He went on to explain that even though offers growth, it is merely operating on a donation platform and should not be treated as any traditional organization like banks, businesses, or investment schemes. He added that the community uses the 30% crowdfunding approach to pay any growth rate it offers. From there, Guider Samson moved on to discuss all the bonuses that each member would get depending on their activities as members. Next up were the rules on safe participation, frequently asked questions, and before he finally answered questions from the audience.
The goal is not the money, because doesn't want your money. Just wants you to realize that you yourself can decide if you want to be financially free. And they are giving you a platform to be financially free. That is what is doing.
That was Guider Samuel Okinian explaining the goals of for its members during his live presentation at the Open Bar in Amuwu, Odofin, Lagos State, on the 5th of August last year.
My name is Samuel, and today what we'll be talking about is...
Prior to that, he already discussed in detail the nature of and how it evolved from its formation in the 90s to its current form today. He described as a global community of ordinary people, selflessly helping each other to be free from today's unfair financial system. Guider Samuel next described the donation exchange process, wherein he told his audience that the person they help may not necessarily be the one to help them out in the future. He added that the system follows the first in, first out principle, hence they should not worry because when the time comes, that they will be the recipient, there will be others willing to send out help. Part of his talk was also a comparison between how banks crowdsource funds from its depositors and how does it so it can give bonus rewards to those who deserve it. After finishing his introduction about what is and the processes involved for the donation platform to work, Guider Samuel proceeded to the second part of his event, the question and answer portion. Many questions came up, but he was more than ready to answer each of them. Our last story from Nigeria for this week happened last August 13, 2016 at Ibadan in Oyo State, where Guider Oraide Olaoluwa hosted an offline presentation for 20 people who were eager to know more about the community. He started with a short welcome message and personal introduction before delving on important topics about He shared its meaning and how it came about under the hands of Sergei Mabrodi. He then discussed the ideology and how the community works using the mutual donation exchange platform. In discussing the provide help and get help processes, he explained that the Mavro is a mere motivational instrument of the community and is earned as a reward for providing help and inviting more people to join. He also showed them how the registration process works and how to send and receive help once they have personal offices already. Before closing, he reminded his audience of the importance of knowing the rules and regulations for safe participation and why they must only donate using their spare money. Overall, Guider Oraide was very happy with the outcome of his presentation and expressed willingness to do more speaking engagement. From Nigeria, we now go down to our community in Republic of South Africa for our last three stories for this week. In these three events, one person, name figures and all, Guider Patricia. We start off with an offline presentation she sponsored at the Mbeledzu Primary School in Mamelodi, Gauteng last September 9, 2016. Drawing a big crowd of 40 people, she told them that is a global mutual aid program where people trust and help each other. She went on to clarify that is neither a company nor a financial organization, and that it doesn't have a central account, so movement of money will be between members. She also showed them how their donation would grow from the time they initiate or provide help. After talking about benefits, Guider Patricia added that these benefits would continue to be available as long as members continue providing help and contribute to its growth by inviting new people into the system. All throughout, her audience was all ears despite the noisy background of cars passing by in a nearby street. The following day, September 10, Guider Patricia was again out on a different location in Mamelodi, Gauteng, to do another offline presentation. She had 2,000 people in the audience who intently listened to her as she was telling them the advantages of using Bitcoin in sending out donations. She told them that the use of Bitcoin is simple and that they just have to devote some of their time to learn and understand it. She added that it is quick to use, globally recognized, and charges very low transaction fees. Hence, they must consider it as an alternative to using the regular bank accounts for their donations. As she was discussing Bitcoin, she also incorporated topics about sending and receiving donation and how they could put or withdraw money from their Bitcoin wallets. Her method of discussion was informal compared to the previous day, but she was still able to explain important topics about The audience were also satisfied because Guider Patricia was always ready to answer their questions. Our last story is still from our Republic of South Africa community and was part of a series of road shows organized by Guiders Patricia and Tony and other community members. This particular event happened at Mbelenli in Secunda, South Africa last September 14, 2016.
Ne? And then Triple M Global is a self-managed global social finance network.
Part of their plan for that day was a presentation at a residence where Guider Patricia was the main speaker. For about 20 minutes, she was able to show them the beauty of the MMM platform and the things that each member had to remember, so they would have a smooth sailing participation. After the presentation, Guiders Tony and Patricia led the team members and went to the marketplace of Mbalenli to hand out pamphlets to vendors, market goers, and even motorists who were merely passing by. For those who have some time to spare, they briefly discuss to them how the MMM platform works through mutual donation exchange. When asked about how they came about doing the roadshow, Guiders Tony and Patricia disclosed that it was not easy because they had to plan things very well and make sure that every move they do is properly orchestrated. They added the roadshow is an awareness campaign to make people aware that MMM is still there. For the team, their activity in the market was an eye-opener that besides presentation, one could also do street recruitments as some do not have the time to attend seminars because of their busy schedule.
What's our community? Our community is known as MMM Nigeria. So it's not a financial institution. It's just a community of people.
That was the senior guider of Guider Olatusin Awotundun on the opening part of a charity presentation he organized for the teachers and children of Iyeru Oken African Church Secondary School in Offa, Kwara State, Nigeria, last November 3, 2016. The senior guider thanked the people in attendance and gave an overview on what to expect in the event. He shared as well the MMM Nigeria has been tagged as a scam by media propaganda and other detractors and pointed out that their visit on that day proves otherwise. He also showed them booklets wherein he said it contains everything they need to know about MMM. Afterwards, Guider Oluwatosin took over and gave them a clearer discussion on what MMM is, its ideology, and how it works. He disclosed also that any gifts they bring along during charity events are not from few individuals but from the entire community itself. Once he finished his formal presentation, there was a brief pause as team members started to put on individual bags the instant noodles, other food and school items, and MMM booklets they brought. Distribution followed wherein each student in attendance got their gifts. And to ensure that everything is ironed out, Guider Oluwatusen and his senior guider engaged their audience with a question and answer portion. Guider Oluwatusen said that he was very satisfied with the outcome, especially seeing the thankful faces of the students who received gifts from the community. And for such a successful occasion, it is fitting that it ends on a very high energy.
Hello again to all our viewers around the world. My name is Emil and welcome to Just My Opinion. During our segment last week, we discussed about the newly implemented Mabro BDC. I'm glad to receive feedbacks from our audience saying that they really appreciate the segment and it helped them to decide on making their transition from bank to Bitcoin. Indeed, the Bitcoin technology is unstoppable. I believe that sooner or later, every people in this planet will come to know about this cryptocurrency. Today in our segment, we will discuss about how criticisms can build or destroy our community. I think this is so important, especially that MMM is fully dependent on the participants and their actions as a whole. So, whether it is a positive or a negative comment, it will always have an impact on our community. Before we dig deeper into this topic, let's review first the meaning of the word criticism. I found two significant definitions from the internet. First, it is defined as the expression of disapproval of someone or something based on perceived faults or mistakes. And the second definition is form and express of sophisticated judgment. You see the difference? I think you'll agree that the second definition is far better than the first one, right? It is because I think the second definition is also known as constructive criticism, which is a way of seeing a problem but aims to correct it by suggestion or alternative solution. Now, going back to our community, since freedom is one of our greatest values, no one prevents us from saying whatever it is that we want to say. In MMM, you are free to voice out your opinion, whether it's about your guider, your PO, your co-participants, or even about Mabrodi. Yes, it's good somehow because we can practice our freedom of expression, but it also poses risk for the community. It is because the criticism from the participants comes in two major forms: the constructive and the opposite of it, which I call the destructive. Yes, you heard it right. The way you speak about our community when you criticize can build it or destroy it. I'm talking here about the approach and the choice of words you take when you're expressing your frustration. Come on, guys, wake up. We are now adults. We are not kids anymore. Anything that comes out from your mind, you have the power to control it. Yes, I know it. You're free to express your complaints. However, expressing it in a nice way can change how people see it in their perspective. And how you express it yourself defines who you are. Some people may ask why I choose this topic. It's because I saw a lot of participants who's repeatedly speaking about change or about change, but their actions are completely the opposite. Men are saying, together we change the world, but still they complain when their GH are delayed, or when their accounts get blocked, or when their PH are taking too long to complete. Worse, they are posting their complaints, they are posting their frustrations in social media in exaggerated manner. Do you think it can help to solve the problem? Do you think it can make the solution, or it can make the situation better? Of course, you know that the answer is a big no. That's the main point of this video. Criticism and complaining is not really bad, only that you have to choose your words properly. It should be constructive and looking for a solution, not the opposite. If you can contain your frustration, at least find a way how you can express it nicely. Remember, you're not just a participant, you are an important part of this community, and you play a big role to make it a success or a failure. That's it for this week. I'll see you again next week. Just remember that everything that I said in this video is just my opinion. Again, guys, this is Emil. Have a great day and bye-bye.
Another week has passed and we are fast approaching the end of February. As this month is Heart Month, may we as MM community members continue to spread the love not just among ourselves, but also to non-members who are in need of our help. I am Mark. Always remember, together we change the world.